Lanzini. Emenike. Christian Daly. Bellamy to Canio. The Vets have 3 number 10s on at the moment. Canio's one of them. Collison's another, and Bellamy's the third. Collison.
Actually a wonderful pass from De Canio into Collison. He's trying to bend it into that far corner. At the end of Emenike.
Sacco for Emenike. Yep, for Sacco. That's 6 goals this season. We're going to get down to the bench. Let's hear from Joe Cole. He's with Matt.
He is indeed, Peter. Joe next to me. He's getting a bit of stick for his trousers from the All-Stars bench here, not surprisingly.
From Steve Lomas. You shouldn't be talking about any gear, by the way.
Anyway, moving on from Trousergate, good of you to turn out for your old buddy.
Yeah, it's good. Been a long drive down. We can't play because we've got a game tomorrow night. But yeah, you know, it's important to be here for Nobes. A good friend of mine, and yeah, proud of him. It's a massive achievement. You know, it's great for him and his family, and yeah, and the fans have turned out. It's going to be a good day.
No, it is. Sun shining on the righteous, I guess you could say. One of the few one-club men.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, he's not only that. He's been a constant performer, and you know, I can't speak highly enough of him as a player and a person. So I'm well pleased for him.
The old boys are strutting their stuff a little bit at the moment.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're dominating the game at the moment. There'll be a few scouts in the trying to make a few comebacks, I think.
I've got a feeling the second half could be a long 45 though.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there's a few big boys there now, isn't there? A few of the shorts.
There's a few wouldn't get in your jeans. I think it's fair to say.
It's very fair to say. Yeah.
Okay, enough from Joe. Thank you very much, Joe. Appreciate it. Nice to see you. Back to you, Peter.
You're talking scouts, Matt. You're talking Baden Powell's grandfather, I would think. Need some old scouts to remember these, but here's Song. Lanzini. Rio knew where to be. Here's Collison.
Just tried to trick there, Lanzini. Daly and Ferdinand were up to the task.
Mark Noble. Remember the name? Back from Lanzini. Noble. Mark Noble! Yorte, sir, Yorte. Make way for Mark Noble, and they certainly did. One each.
Yeah, it's still a good finish, the outside of the right boot. He's showing his technical qualities again. Not sure the Ferdinand brothers were too determined with their defending. His little 1-2 gets it back. Second 1-2 coming up here. And just with the outside of the right boot, past David James. You can't read it on this occasion. Well, you have a shot.
Possibly also aware, David James, that if he'd made another save, he'd have been drummed out of the ground. In fairness, I'm not sure he was getting here even if he wanted to. Beautifully shaped. Mark Noble scored his first professional goal actually for Ipswich Town in a brief loan spell against Coventry. Teddy would have appreciated that. That sort of a finish. Teddy Sheringham. Through goes Carlton Cole, and he's gone to ground. He wants a penalty. He's not going to get one. On the day Mark Noble scored his first ever goal for West Ham, Carlton Cole was another scorer. It was a 3-0 FA Cup win against Brighton. Adrian has chased forward now for West Ham. He's desperate to score. Adrian scores! Comic Cuts finish. Goalkeeper turned poacher.
Well, I think there's one or two West Ham players that didn't want him to score there, trying to take the ball off him. I think he's got a helping hand as well from the goalkeeper, David James. He's had a great season in goal. Got even better for him here.
Now this is what you do call an end-to-end run.
Well, he just barges his man out the way. He has to get one of his own players out the way as well. Certainly not giving him an easy time. Goes in between a couple of defenders. Still going. He'll be absolutely shattered at the end of this one. I'm not sure what David James was doing.
Michael Antonio was helping him out, wasn't he? He was there as his bouncer for the duration of this run. There he is, just pushing anyone who would be in the way out of the way. Goalkeepers only tend to get moments like that in penalty shootouts, and they all land on them. Noble. Song. Lanzini. Oh, he's made a mug of Trevor Sinclair.
Trevor Sinclair doesn't want to be back too far defending. He's a player that likes to get forward, or was a player that liked to get forward. Played a big part in that Di Canio goal with that great crossfield ball against Wimbledon. Nobody remembers him for that though, do they?
No. Well, they remember him for his own spectacular goal for QPR, of course, don't they?
Bicycle kick.
Benayoun. Song. Christian Daly's got a long way to get back here. Lanzini. Song. Sacco. Noble. Beaten out by James, who got to the second ball too. And Lanzini's offside.
And that's more like it from David James. That's what we saw at the start of the game. Nice height for him. Good reach.
The day Adrian scored a goal for West Ham. He's played half an hour and he's replaced by Rafael Spiegel, 23-year-old Swiss who's been at the club for a while, a one-time Grasshopper Zurich goalkeeper, still to make his competitive debut, and of course given the opportunity to play a part here with Darren Randolph away for the Irish. Former Swiss under-21 himself, actually. Match with the unlikely goal scorer.
Yeah, well, a breathless goalkeeper, which doesn't happen that often. And I never thought I'd be saying this, but Adrian, talk me through your goal.
Well, when I was young, I play outfield, so
Okay.
I have this thing to score any goal here, not on fire. I score one penalty, but it's different. So, just Miguel really like my body work.
Yes.
And they kick all the players. It's just for funny for the fans and to have funny moments, no? Yeah.
Absolutely, and I just felt you thought perhaps David James was trying to steal your thunder, so maybe get a bit more involved.
Yeah, probably it's a little bit stiff with the training the last days, so probably. But it's really fun and a great moment, no, for all the West Ham fan and for Man Noble.
Oh, absolutely, it's a great day, and I'll let you get your breath back.
Yeah.
Well played and good goal.
Thank you very much.
Here's Alex Song. Oh! Thought he was a holding midfield player. I'm going to do things like that.
There's a couple of little flicks behind his standing foot. One to cross the ball, this one to shoot. It's a lot of power in it, just gets underneath it.
That was the Barcelona in him. Sinclair for Bellamy, who still seems to have plenty of puff. He's hung one up, which Winston Reid had to nudge away. Benayoun.
More importantly, a bit of pace from Bellamy to go past Tompkins. I don't think he'd be too pleased.
Daly. Collison couldn't keep it.
Still got that half a yard of pace. Bellamy.
Hammers aficionados will want to know that our live game on Saturday the 9th of April is the London Derby here. Last time Arsenal will ever come to Upton Park. Of course, Manchester City, who are in Paris, live on BT Sport Europe, Wednesday the 6th from 7 o'clock. And Liverpool fly the English flag in the Europa League. They go to Dortmund the following day, and so of course do we, from 7:15 BT Sport Europe. West Ham Arsenal makes you think Trevor Brooking and Billy Bonds. Trevor scored the goal, Billy lifted the cup. They're in charge here, sort of.
Both had spells as managers, didn't they? Billy Bonds was in charge for 2 or 3 years. Sir Trevor Brooking was caretaker manager for a while. What a player Billy Bonds was. It's a totally different way to that of Trevor Brooking. Billy Bonds got Player of the Year here at Upton Park when he was 40 years old.
Did he really? Yeah. There is Bonzo, 4-time Hammer of the Year. He played 795 games for this club, and actually it's sometimes forgotten he wasn't quite a one-club man. He came from Charlton in 1967. Sacco. O'Brien. Antonio. Changes behind it again.
A lot of luck in the Premier League this season. Antonio finding the back of the net, struggling against David James here.
To Canio, what a lovely pass. Cole. There goes Bellamy again. Bellamy's pulled back, Tompkins is there. Lanzini. He knows more about cameras than he used to, David James. He's done a bit of telly now, you know.
I think he's always known about them.
Yeah, true. The unnecessary role was always a part of his armoury.
He was never shy, was he, as a goalkeeper?
Well, you're tempted to say you never lose it until perhaps you see evidence that perhaps you do. Christian Daly losing his poise.
Best idea, kick the ball as far away as possible.
Scored a very big goal for West Ham in a playoff semi-final once, Christian Daly, against Ipswich here. Even more famously scored for Scotland at Wembley in a competitive game. Barayun. Bellamy. Barayun. To Canio. Lovely thought. Plenty more talent to come on. Teddy Sheringham in the front row next to Marlon Harewood, who scored big goals in a promotion season here. Chris Powell over his shoulder. Dean Ashton behind him, scored in the cup final at Cardiff, the one West Ham so very, very nearly won. There's Stevie Lomas, Ian Bishop. Goodness me, doesn't appear to be a grey hair in his head, nor John Moncur. Here's Alex Song. Leaves David James seated and gives West Ham a 3-1 lead.
He tried to read it, David James. Alex Song doesn't get too far forward when he's playing for West Ham, but a good little finish for him on this occasion. I'm not sure where the defence was. Doesn't matter. An easy finish for Alex Song.
It's his first goal for West Ham. I'm not sure it'll make too many record books.
David James trying to put him off, coming out, throwing his arms up in the air, swinging his trailing leg. Not good enough though.
Well, Bartes tried that on Di Canio once upon a time at Old Trafford and it didn't work. Ferdinand, what a beautiful pass. Benayoun, Carlton Cole. Yossi Benayoun, oh, he's flagged offside. The referee must overrule it. He's not. He's not.
What a pass it was from Ferdinand. Benayoun, who still looks sprightly, making the forward run. It wasn't the first run that was offside. Here's the pass. This one, not here, but when Cole tries to play it back to him, he's just standing in an offside position. Why didn't Benayoun go for goal the first time?
So Benayoun, another of those beautiful West Ham ball players in his time, not just West Ham, of course. Di Canio, lovely, lovely. That's what they paid for. Collison, Sinclair, Benayoun. Spiegel saves.
Just lost his footing there. Yossi Benayoun.
Sinclair. Benayoun looking to play in Bellamy.
If there's two players that still look as though they could perform, it would be Bellamy and Benayoun. They've run with the ball really well in this opening 30-odd minutes.
Lanzini nudged on for Noble. Sacco can't keep it in. So Trevor actually statistically is West Ham's most successful manager ever in terms of games won per games played. Took over, of course, when Glenn Roeder, lovely man that he is, was taken ill in April of 2003 and did take 7 points from the last 3 games of that Premier League season, which wasn't quite enough to keep West Ham up, but he, it goes without saying, is an integral part of West Ham royalty. 10th of May 1980, every Hammers fan knows that date. Whether he meant the header or not, of course he did.
He was in the right place at the right time when it came across.
Di Canio, has he got the energy to get forward? No, he'll let the ball do the work. And play it in for Carlton Cole. Lanzini. Antonio's through the middle, Sacco's through the middle. Song's wide. Sacco let it roll for Noble. Noble had a hit and hit the post.
That's his sort of area, Mark Noble. He's done it so many times for West Ham. Play the ball wide, get it back, get the shot in quickly. Saw a lot of it when he was a young player down at Little Heath when he was playing for the under-17s. Incidents like this, side footing it, trying to bend it past David James. You could always tell as a young player watching him play for the under-17s, he was going to go on and be a really top-class player for West Ham. And Kevin Keane and Tony Carr.
He was at Barking Colts as a very young boy, and actually originally went to the Arsenal Academy at the age of 11, but was eventually enveloped by the West Ham family. Played his first reserve team game at the age of 15. Could play his last reserve team game at the age of 40, the way he looks at the moment. Here's Lanzini. Cresswell. Lanzini, Song, oh, nicely done. So watchfully behind by Rio Ferdinand.
Rio Ferdinand doesn't get beaten by the 1-2, he knows what he's doing.
Run back, run back. Just find the back.
Pedro Obiang. Noble from deep. Antonio. O'Brien. James Tompkins, stood up by Anton Ferdinand. Sacco. Good strong tackle from Di Canio. And an early ball for Bellamy, who ran from inside his own half and has half the field to himself. It's Craig Bellamy. Spiegel stood up.
What good vision still by Di Canio. Got himself turned, played the ball straight forward. Could take his place. Here's the ball from Di Canio. Bellamy just onside in his own half. Just runs a little bit too straight at Spiegel. He just makes the save with that left hand.
Di Canio. Out by Reed, here's Song. Sacco one way, Antonio the other. Rio will get there when he can. Sacco, Lanzini, Song. Noble, Lanzini, Song, Lanzini, Noble, bounces in off Sacco. David James is screaming for an offside flag, which is not lifted, so Diafra Sacco has West Ham score.
Sacco was behind the player that played the ball, Mark Noble, so David James should know better. It can't have been offside. Lovely little back heel in amongst all this. When you do see players with time on the ball, they do show what qualities they've got. Lanzini to Noble, and there's the finish from Sacco.
West Ham's fourth goal this afternoon, scored by number 15, Diafra Sacco.
Players good time on the ball, they'll show their quality, and that's what West Ham are doing now.
Got to say, Stuart, with respect, that time on the ball isn't really an issue today, is it?
Not really. I think the players aren't going to be pressed too quickly.
Here's Bellamy. He could have made it 3-2 before it was 4-1. Collison. Tompkins keeps it from Di Canio. What a thrill it'll be for James Tompkins to be face to face with Paolo Di Canio. You imagine there was a boyhood hero for him. Out by Noble. Oh, look at all the space for Lanzini. Cresswell. 30 seconds. Been promised no stoppage time. That would be cruel to the veterans. Lanzini.
Done too much wrong over the course of the season, the Antonio. That wasn't a good pass from him. A couple of press-ups as punishment.
Oh, referee out of generosity has actually blown 10 seconds early, so that'll do for those who are puffing a bit. Mark Noble's enjoyed his first half. Everybody's enjoyed the first half. It's been a lot of fun. The All-Stars took the lead through Craig Bellamy, but then four different West Ham goal scorers, Mark Noble, Alex Song and Diafra Sacco, all around the most unlikely of them all, Adrian, a goal-keeping goal scorer. He got the second, and at half-time at the dear old Boleyn, it's West Ham 4, the West Ham All-Stars 1.
David James alongside me pitched. What happened there, Jamie? That's boring.
So the defensive line was either in the wrong place or was in the wrong place.
Okay.
The goalkeeper needs to have a look at himself as well for the second one.
Right.
How Adrian can run the length of the field.
Yeah. Have you thought about Panto? The crowd are loving it.
Yeah, at my expense. Yeah, thank you very much. I tell you what, Noble's goal was good.
Yes.
I let that one in.
Yeah.
The others were fantastic.
Great saves, and you were remonstrating with the officials. It was like the good old days.
Yeah, well, I thought 3 of them were offside.
Okay.
But I was told that none of them were. So, I mean, I tell you what, as I said before the game, I mean, it's a full house. Yeah, it is a bit Panto-ish.
Yeah.
Fortunately, otherwise there might be...
You're playing your part to perfection, Mr. James.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Word with the manager.
Go on, son. Go on. We'll have a full analysis of what's happened and why the All-Stars are 4-1 down in just a couple of minutes. Great day at Upton Park. So Stuart Pearce alongside me, and a man who was dragged away from what might be an essential warm-up, Mr. Sheringham. The chances are going out there for a striker of your calibre in the second half, aren't there?
Not really for our team, I don't think. There's a little bit of a walkover, and the lads were getting plenty of chances on the opposition. But we'll have a go and see what happens.
Yeah, it's an important day, it's a nice day, and a good day for Mark Noble.
Fantastic day. What a great turnout as well. This just shows you what the West Ham public think of Mark Noble.
Yes.
We all think it as past players and staff. But it's great to see that the public thinks the same as well. It's fantastic.
You haven't changed much since last I saw you, still in shape?
Might look in shape. See me after about 10 minutes, 15 minutes now. I could be waning by the minute.
Thank you very much for your time, and get stretched.
Cheers, mate. Yes, I will do. Cheers.
Cheers, Teddy. Stuart, let's talk through the goals from that first half. And obviously Craig Bellamy, who looks like he could still do a turn at a decent level with the opening goal.
Well, Bellas looks as though he's got something to prove today, doesn't he? You know, he's been very mobile all the game, been fantastic. Him and Benny Yoon have been outstanding, and I mean, that is a great finish at any standard, let alone a testimonial. Wonderful how he opened his body up and just guided it in.
Fantastic. And he was kicking the post a little while later because he probably should have had a second, but he enjoyed that and has certainly run about like a youngster. And then, naturally enough, the legs, the talent obviously as well, and the current ability started to tell.
It did, as I say, holes started to appear a little bit. J-Mo done fantastically well, I've got to say, in the first half. And then a big gap opened up in the middle of their defence, and then Nobes just guided it in the far corner.
Yeah, beautiful finish from the man of the moment. You can allow him that. He could do that without you allowing him to be fair. And then once they were level, as you said, gaps started to appear, not least for the goalkeeper, Adrian, out of nowhere.
Well, he obviously spotted a gap and decided to launch it for himself, and off he went, being chaperoned by Antonio, I think, for the length of the pitch, really. He was acting like a bouncer at a nightclub.
He was.
Getting a VIP into a reception there, you know, and he managed to shepherd him right into the box, and well, you don't often see this in games, but he finished it fantastically well. J-Mo will be disappointed.
He will. To be honest, I think he's disappointed with all four. He didn't want to let any in, despite the fact that it's not actually his testimonial today. Good finish from Adrian. J-Mo won't want to see those replays, and great scenes.
And I think that was the end of his game, actually. He come off shortly after that.
He did. He had a chat with us there on the bench. Yeah, and then, as you said, the younger legs and the skill started to tell. Alex Song, I think, with the next good team play.
Yeah, it was. As I say, they passed it really well there. As I say, one or two tired legs. I think J-Mo thought he was going to second guess him here and keep this one out, but as you say, he opened his body up and just slid it in. I think the arm went up. He was trying to do a Di Canio there, the offside, I think, from Manchester United some years ago.
Yeah, that's a little trip down memory lane. And Saka with the fourth. J-Mo thought actually this, amongst others, was offside. Obviously it wasn't, but he is a complainer by nature.
No, as I say, J-Mo was playing on the offside trap quite a bit. It's a shame his defenders weren't either. But nice little team goal, well worked, and just rolled it in the goal.
Yeah. Very, very nice little back heel in there, and Saka with the final touch. Job done. Long way back now for the old boys, but there's plenty of them.
I think the crowd are looking for maybe a goal from Teddy possibly, and certainly one from Parlow will be pleasant in the second half.
Yeah, and there have been glimpses. I know obviously sometimes the spirit can be willing and the flesh a little weaker, but there have been glimpses of the old magic.
Well, I think the magic is there, definitely. What we need is those young legs around him in Bellamy and Benayoun to create something for him, you know. But I think there's a goal here, definitely.
Well, we talked about Craig having got one, should have had two.
Well, I think what should have happened was role reversal there. Maybe Bella's playing the ball through to Parlow, and I think Parlow going through on goal would have scored here.
Yeah.
And Bella's, make no mistake, Bella's will be a bit grumpy about missing this one.
Yeah, he's actually, you can see his disappointment writ all over his face. But listen, obviously the scoreline in some ways doesn't matter. And I've heard hint of a penalty shootout. regardless of the final score, so lots more to look forward to.
That'll be nice, and as I say, one of the people taking them would definitely be Noble. I've practiced probably 200 penalties with him with the under-21s. He's a good penalty taker.
Is he?
Very good.
Have you got your boots with you come a penalty shootout? Because
Definitely not, no.
Really?
Yeah,
oh,
really.
Well, history would have backed into you, Stuart.
I know.
For good and for bad. But obviously the formalities continue behind us, and let's obviously enjoy the football, but let's not forget what we're all here for. For Mark Noble and his service to the club, and for obviously the causes that today will clearly contribute.
Exactly. I mean, 3 wonderful charities that he's going to fund today from this. Fantastic turnout, and if the second half will be played in the same spirit, it'll be a wonderful day for everyone concerned.
Yeah, no, that's well said, and it's worth pointing out again that actually I'm not sure that many clubs could have brought a full house to a game against an old boys team, if you like. Even those giant clubs of international or English football might have struggled to do that.
Yeah, I mean, over the years, when you have these big testimonials, normally it's a Celtic that come down to England or someone of that ilk, you know. Oh my!
I've been told to hop in between you. It's a good-looking one.
We needed an upgrade on the look of the show, so we turned naturally.
Well, I thought it was actually 2 brothers.
Thanks very much, Steve. Well said. Now listen, how ready are you to change this game?
Not very.
Really?
Not very. Listen, as you can see, it's been a good retirement.
There's work to do.
Yeah, no, listen, we're going out to enjoy it. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Good, thing to start for the club and out there. And like I said earlier, Noble, what a great gesture to the 3 charities.
Yeah, no,
let's not forget that. Fantastic from the lads.
Yeah, and there is something about this club. I know every set of fans would say the same, but there's something of the family atmosphere about West Ham.
Well, it's always been there. I think when we, went down to the championship, 30,000 every week turning up. There's not many clubs get that in the championship, so through thick and thin, they've supported the club, and I think they're getting their just rewards now. Obviously, the team flying, and looking forward to a new stadium.
No, they're playing well at the moment, obviously, and we'll give you a test. Even a boy with your quality will give you a test.
Basically, sub me after 10.
That second half. I don't know whether he's a nominated penalty taker at the end.
There'll be a few pushing themselves forward, I believe. There won't be any shrinking violets coming forward.
No. I've got a feeling that the Canios and Carlton Coles and Sheringhams are all available if selected by the management. Lee Bowyer, I think, about to make an entrance among others. Let's see if they can find a way back into this from 4-1 down. Dean Ashton also. Nice to see him back in a West Ham shirt and on this Upton Park pitch. Thanks very much then for the moment to Stuart. More from Stuart, although sadly not with his boots on. But let's head back to the gantry to Stuart Robson and Peter Drury.
Club of Legends, there's the greatest of them all, looking down from on high. The man who won the big one. An entirely different team for the Legends in the second half. I'll try to make sense of it for you as we go along, if indeed the information I have is correct. We understand Jimmy Walker's going to keep goal. I can see him. Very popular, long-time servant of this club. Came from Walsall. Didn't play a great number of games, but was number 2 goalkeeper to any number of number 1s. Ahead of him, we've got a back 4: Lomas, Daly, Upson, Gabidon. Mark Noble is hinting at taking a break, though his friends are urging him back on. Lee Bowyer is going to be joined in midfield by Moncur. Antonio's had an early shot straight from kick-off, which has come to nothing. Marlon Harewood's playing, Matthew Etherington's playing, and we've got Teddy Sheringham playing off Dean Ashton up front.
What I can say about Dean Ashton, I went to the same gym as Dean Ashton. I obviously did a lot more work in that gym than Dean did, and a lot of time in the coffee shop, I'd have to say.
Very, very unfortunate, of course, Dean Ashton, with injury. He made himself West Ham's first choice centre forward, and here's confirmation of his place in it. And of course, Dean Ashton was starting to make things happen for himself in an England context before injury struck. He got his cup final goal, and here he is. They won't forget him. Whipped in by Etherington and struck off balance by Teddy Sheringham.
Great early chance for Teddy Sheringham. Lovely little ball he played round the corner. Then when it comes back to him on the half volley, expecting to hit the target, hooks it horribly wide.
by Collison. It was Upson attacking it. And now on his bike is Lanzini. Antonio. Song. Number 43 there for West Ham is Alex Pike, who is a 19-year-old right full-back who's played 1 minute of Europa League football in the first team. And Walker comes to gather. Ashton. Harewood. Running away from Cresswell. Marlon Harewood. Dean Ashton fell over. And Sheringham tucked it in. Right man, right place. Sharp as ever from a yard out.
Well, Dean Ashton played it wide, made the run forward. I'm not sure what he was trying to do right at the end of it. Whether he was trying to volley or head it. In the end, it hits him in the sort of mid-drift. And a mistake by the goalkeeper. Spiegel and Teddy Sheringham on the score sheet, as you'd expect him to be.
4-2.
Goal scorer for the All-Stars, first and second half, scored by
Sheringham.
Teddy Sheringham.
Relatively small percentage of his many career goals were scored for West Ham. But this is a club that's always had an appetite for a technician and a finisher. He was both of those. Pike. Antonio. Song. Everington. There's Lee Bowyer.
I'm sure Dean Ashton's going to appreciate that ball played in over the top. Winston Reid's always going to beat him for pace. What a good player Dean Ashton was. First of all for Crewe, then for Norwich, then for West Ham.
He still lives in his home town, the town where he grew up, Norwich. Collison. Gavidon. Quite a Welsh element in the visiting team today, with Bellamy and Collison as well. Matthew Everington used to have a bit of whip in his left boot. Gavidon. Bowyer couldn't sell a dummy to Reid. Forward by Lanzini. Sacco. Out by Daly. Couple of youngsters in the West Ham first team now who you might not be familiar with. That is, as mentioned, Alex Pike at right back. Marcus Brown is on as well, wearing 41, an 18-year-old midfield player. There's Pike. Don't tell him your name. No relation, as far as I understand it, to Jeff Pike, who was a great servant of this club in the 1980s. Jack Collison has run his race now, and he is being replaced by 49-year-old John Moncur, whose decade at this club came between 1994 and 2003. More than 200 appearances. Everington. Song was caught on it. Ashton for Sheringham.
Oh, poor finish in the end from Teddy Sheringham. The first really aggressive tackle we've seen coming from Moncur.
Christian Daly. Matthew Everington. Lee Bowyer made an absolute lung burster through the centre forward furrow, and Everington didn't play the pass. It's Probably the last time Lee Bowyer will try that run.
Not sure if it wasn't Kieran Dyer who didn't play the pass.
Lomas from right back. In at Ashton. Out by Reed. Not seen by Matthew Upson. Another man who scored against Germany for England. He did so at the World Cup. Sheringham was, from an English perspective, the highlight of that day. Another son of West Ham, Frank Lampard, did score by about 1.5 yards and it didn't count. Lanzini, Brown, Lanzini, Song. Never scored once before. He wouldn't score twice, would he? No, he won't. But Sacco does. And West Ham have 5.
Oh, no messing about from Sacco. Take a little selfie here.
It's a 21st century goal, this.
They're going to get into it, and the goalkeeper's getting into it as well, Walker. Good finish from him. He sees the funny side of it, Slaven Bilic.
Do you make that 5-2?
I do make it 5-2.
Thank you.
Upson couldn't get the clearance away, and there's the finish from Sacco. Hit with pace. Probably goes through the legs, it certainly does, of Walker. I bet you've never taken a selfie in your life, have you, Peter?
That is 100% correct. And then handed the phone to the 4th official.
I've seen it done in a competitive game once. That was by Totti. In the Roma-Lazio game when he scored a goal. Went behind the goal, got somebody's camera and took a selfie. If you're going to do it in a game, it needs to be in the Rome derby.
You'd probably have to be called Totti. Song. It's a lovely ball. This is Brown. Back to Cresswell. Set it for Lanzini, who hit it against Brown. That won't go down well with a senior pro if you stand in the way of his shot. Sheringham. Ashton. Bowyer. Sheringham checked his run and stayed on side. Etherington, he can score a spectacular goal. Bowyer.
He had a good career, didn't he? Bowyer. He was playing for Leeds before that, Charlton, Newcastle for a while.
Leeds season in the Champions League was absolutely staggering. Of course, Rio Ferdinand was part of that as well. Antonio. Song. Lanzini. Brown, Cresswell. If ever the Song will score when we want applied, this was it. John Moncur's tackle has caused a titter in the crowd. The more things change, the more they stay the same. It's opened up for Brown to have a go. It's bounced back out for Bowyer. Ashton's first touch was good. And now here's big Marlon Harewood with Sheringham one way and Bowyer the other. Harewood's got himself and given it a clout. Swindle's in the way.
He certainly can give it a clout, Marlon Harewood. Certainly had some pace when he was playing for West Ham and Nottingham Forest, amongst others.
Scored a goal that won a cup semi-final against Middlesbrough in 2006. Antonio.
I never remembered Dean Ashton being in those sort of areas when he was playing at his peak.
He's learnt defensive discipline since he's retired. Here's Harewood. Christian Daly's up with him. So's Teddy Sheringham. Sheringham's hung up the cross. O'Brien's partial clearance. Christian Daly's wondering what he's doing that far forward. Wonker. Etherington. Bowyer. It is a beautiful day here in East London, which is crazy. Those of us who woke up in the southeast of England, getting the tail end of Storm Katie, and picking logs out of our dented cars. Lanzini. Brown. Lanzini. Song. Going to be some changes on both sides. We're going to see a couple more West Ham youngsters and one West Ham oldster.
Just thought about it, didn't he there, Harewood, to try and run Winston Reid, knock it past him, and thought against it.
There was an instinct that told him he wasn't going to get there. Chris Powell's come on for the All-Stars. Sheringham for Ashton. Deflected shot, corner. Chris Powell, who did win an England cap, at left full back, better known for his time at Charlton, a little bit of time at Watford as well, and obviously a much respected manager in the game now. Sacco is coming off for West Ham and being replaced by Grady Diangana, a 17-year-old who's already featured for West Ham's under-21s. And this is George Dobson, who is an 18-year-old defender, West Ham boyhood fan, who they signed from Arsenal's academy last summer. Captain Arsenal's under-18s last year, so he'll be one that West Ham are excited about bringing forward. Steve dripping with sweat. Next to Kevin Keane there, who's of course performed at this club in so many different roles, playing, coaching, caretaking.
Considering he only touched the ball once, Steve Lomas, he's exuded a lot of energy out there. Big occasion, isn't it, for Pike, the right back? In front of a big crowd.
Funny enough, it probably is, Stuart, isn't it? Because these are teenage boys who are thrown in front of 30,000 people and have to understand the manner in which they're expected to behave and to play the game in the right spirit, and it's counterintuitive to everything they're coached day after day.
It's going to be a very difficult game for them. Now, they'd love to go and get a tackle in, they'd love to close the ball down, they'd love to run beyond the player on the ball. They probably can't do that, so it's a difficult game for them.
I think Julian Dix has stopped puffing, so Matt might get a sentence out of him.
It's very unkind to suggest, Peter, that Julian's only just got his breath back, but he is sat next to me and smiling. Did you enjoy that?
I did, I loved it. I said to the gaffer, I can only do 10 minutes because of my knee, but after 10 minutes gone, I'm thinking I want to do more. But no, I really enjoyed it. It was good fun.
Yeah, and where you obviously, as a current coach, held back, John Moncur's not had those instructions. He's already gone to the ground at least 3 times.
Well, when you get people nutmegging you, it's not very nice. So, I mean, if anybody nutmegged me, I'd kick him as well.
It's a fair point. And Ian Bishop next to Julian, watching on with interest and hoping for a few minutes there, Fish?
Yeah, I'm going to get 20, it looks like. I think Monkey's already given it a shout, so I'm just debating whether to go and warm up, but I don't want to shoot me bolt down the sideline and want to be able to get a couple of touches on the ball out there.
Save it for the pitch.
Yeah, definitely right, yeah.
Well, it's good to see you old boys strutting your stuff. You are trailing as it stands, Dixie, and the young boys are just starting to enjoy it.
They are. Listen, they want to enjoy it as much as I do and Bish does. It's a good day, but the scores are relevant. I mean,
Yeah.
it's good fun. It's good
Of course it is, and I think there's a penalty shootout regardless at the end. So, have you got your trainers on, if not your boots?
I won't be taking the penalty.
Okay, you heard it here first. Bish might. Dixie definitely says no. Peter.
That's shocking. He could take a penalty, that man, because when he hit it, it stayed here. And not many goalkeepers really wanted to get in the way. Julian Dix, one of the sweetest strikers of a football that ever graced this club.
Along with Ray Stewart, who took a brilliant penalty.
Tonka. We were talking about him before we came on air. The shared memory was that he missed one, Ray Stewart. But, my goodness me, he rippled some net.
Probably broke the goalkeeper's hand on the one that he did save, the goalkeeper.
It was one of those when he stepped up, if you're listening on the radio or here at the ground or wherever you were following the game, when he stepped up you just knew it was a goal.
He scored some big ones as well, didn't he? I think it was in the final of the League Cup against Liverpool.
Yeah. 1981. Very last minute. I think it was Terry McDermott who handled on the line from Melvin Martin's header, but open to correction there. Here's Marlon Harewood. It's 2-on-1 here. The one is Reed, the two are Harewood and Teddy Sheringham. Harewood. 5-3. We've got a game. We've got a game. Oh, he can't flag it. He can't flag it.
And the linesman's put his flag up. Teddy Sheringham's had a little word with so has Powell. Harewood surely got to be booked for that, taking his shirt off as well.
Do you know that is two goals that the All-Stars have had ruled out for offside? Oh, I'm not sure it's even right.
No, he's level with Teddy Sheringham when the ball's played.
Scandalous. I mean, he's going to get a yellow card for the shirt removal and perhaps for the protest as well. Harewood could walk for that.
I've got to say, there's not many of the older players that would want to take their shirts off at the moment.
He's not without a bit of slip-slap slop. Oh, Lanzini. You see, we've had a change of referee at half-time, actually. That's not Andre Mariner anymore, that's Andy Woolmer, who's taken over. He's given a free kick to Lanzini.
Working out the 10 yards. Very efficiently there.
Well, I've never commentated on a football match, Stuart, where I've suggested fixing, because you get into trouble for that sort of thing. But I'm prepared to say out loud that I reckon the plan was that the All-Stars would score the next goal, and the linesman stopped them from doing so. So Lanzini's on the horns of a dilemma here. Conveniently, he's missed by a yard or two.
There's Payet when you need him.
Friendly international for you on BT Sport Europe tomorrow from 7:45. Germany against Italy. That'll be a very good watch. So as ever on Saturday morning, we'll Fletch and Sav, 10 o'clock on BT Sport 1, prior to our live game, which is Aston Villa against Chelsea from Villa Park, also available in ultra high definition. And then Saturday week should be a really special occasion here. West Ham Arsenal at Upton Park. Everything that means, the history of the fixture, and indeed the quarter of the game to play. Chris Powell. Sheringham. Oh, what a lovely ball. What a lovely ball. Come back by George Dobson there, wearing 44. Everyone's lips for now. Oh, lovely shape, and a beautifully steered shot from Marcus Brown. He's been on West Ham's first team bench a couple of times, up at Blackburn in the FA Cup, and at Norwich since then in the Premier League.
Step over, left foot shot. Looks as though Ludek McCloskey in the background there, ready with his gloves on.
Ashton, Bowyer, Sheringham, Bishop, Bowyer, Sheringham.
First misplaced pass from Teddy Sheringham since he's been on. He's right back, had a bit more pace. He's still got a lot of technical ability, Teddy Sheringham. You can tell he's been a top-class player. He's linked up the play, scored his goal, albeit from a yard.
Marcus Brown, Edin Terzic. By Canio for Sinclair. Sinclair for Di Canio, that rings a bell. Sinclair again. Di Canio out of the way. Christian Daly stayed in the way.
Kevin Keane, the player that got the ball clear. With the youth ranks
No, but just a spectator at the moment. Soon he'll be on before the end. Di Canio. Song. Di Canio!
He was trying to bend it round Walker. Just didn't get the bend on it he was looking for. Lovely little ball, continued his run, and strikes through the back of it.
It was last Premier League goal for West Ham in that sad for them 2-2 draw at Birmingham on the last day of the 2002-03 season, when under Trevor Brooking, and prior to that, to be fair, also under Glenn Roeder, they so nearly pulled off a great escape, and he was scoring week after week after week. Trevor got the best out of him. It was close to being one of the great escapes, but not quite. Bolton stayed up instead, JJ Kocher, Sam Allardyce and all that.
The season where they said West Ham were too good to go down.
They were, but they did. Yeah, no one has gone down with more points than West Ham did there. Now Ashton, one-on-one with Spiegel. He's got to get it right. He hasn't.
Won the mind games there.
Powell, Harewood, Lee Bowyer. What about him?
He scored a few goals, didn't he? The Leeds from that midfield position, and Charlton before that. Just trying to wrap his foot round it and catch the goalkeeper out that far post. Here's the chance for Dean Ashton. The goalkeeper stands up. He knows exactly where Ashton's going to play it, and then gets his dive at the right time.
Last 20 minutes here. There'll be a few grateful for that. Terzic and then Diangana. Di Canio. Sinclair. Almost did it in reverse.
I say wrong way round. Why didn't Sinclair volley it?
Diangana. Song. Dab through for Terzic. A little bit of a pep talk from Joe Cole for Mark Noble, who's allowing himself the last 20 minutes. His day, it's his party, he can do what he wants. He's played against 55 different sets of opponents as a West Ham player, ranging from the greatest, Manchester United, including two or three pretty obscure ones in this year's ill-fated Europa League campaign. Birkir Kara of Malta might not make his memoirs. Sinclair. Song.
Just upset a lot of Liverpool and Arsenal fans by calling Manchester United the greatest.
Yes, I have. I use them as an example club of those in the top category. Harewood. Shanahan, who won a European Cup for and with Manchester United. Bishop. Ashton! My word, Rob Batley is or what? There's your moment. How on earth has he done that? What has happened to gravity?
Oh, Wayne Rooney did it against Manchester City. This is just as good from Dean Ashton. It's a nice little ball from Ian Bishop as well. What a strike this is from Dean Ashton. Covers from everybody. Perhaps he did a bit more work in that gym than I thought he did. And now he wants to come off.
He's retiring. He's given the Upton Park pitch probably its last ever experience of the heavy roller, but he will enjoy watching that back. Dino, hats off, that is spectacular. Anytime, anywhere.
He's got to get his head below the board, he's got to get his knee above it, he's got to hit it with his laces. Everything is right about this. Well, we talked about Paolo Di Canio's goal here many years ago. That was from a similar position.
Yeah. It was a moment of suspended belief. Did that really happen? Noble, Sinclair. Nicked behind by Keane. I must say, from a human perspective, you've got to love that moment, because that is a guy who in West Ham's number 9 shirt ought to have had many, many more serious goals ahead of him, and was denied the career he should have had. He was a top centre forward.
He was at his peak when he had to retire as well.
He's also a very nice chap, so good on him. It's great to see him smiling.
When he does his co-commentaries, he can talk about that goal for a little while longer.
Exactly. So 5-3, what money will you give me on a 5-5 draw to set up the penalty shootout? Except that would deny Di Canio a goal. Might have to make it 6-6. Here's Keane. Freddie Sears wearing 33 there. Son of this club. Harewood, they keep creeping on. Keane's got forward. Ashton, 5-4. Getting tense.
Yeah, and that's exactly where Kevin Keane used to play, straight out on that right hand side in front of the chicken run to go past people. He's got good awareness in the box still. Everybody else goes to the near post. Dean Ashton, whether he can't make the move he wants to, just stands on the penalty spot, waits for it to come, and then passes it into the corner. Good play from Kevin Keane.
Spiegel's done his bit and is replaced in goal here by Rob Hatton. Sam Taylor and Short, who are just personal mates of Mark Noble, who he's giving a game to.
Goal he scored here, Dean Ashton. Watch this for the finish. Absolutely perfect. You won't get better than that.
He can now retire with complete satisfaction. You won't improve on that.
You might need a hip replacement, but
well, yeah, Matt is down, ready to talk to the heavy roller.
You can't call him the heavy roller, Peter. That's outrageous. He's just produced a finish like that. Talk me through both of those.
I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest. At my, with my body now, what am I thinking? But brilliant, just brilliant.
Old habits die hard.
Don't they? Don't they just, yeah. Back's a bit sore like, but it will
I'd love to get me off just yet.
What a great day though for Nobes. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant, great turnout.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And you're putting on a show. Putting on a show.
Yeah.
Paolo Di Canio is now gutted. We'll be talking about your goal in the years to come, not his.
I think Kevin Keane wants to sign a few to Colchester. Sign us a few up.
Yeah, well, I noticed you were asking Slaven about how his squad depth was as he came off.
He hasn't seen me tomorrow for the next week when I can't walk.
We'll have to gird your loins for a possible penalty shootout.
Right, okay, well, I missed my last three, so that'll be all right.
Listen, the form you're in, you're on for a hat-trick. So enjoy your rest, you won't be needed later.
Cheers, thank you.
Back to you.
It was brilliant, brilliant, no disrespect meant. Just catching the mood of the day and enjoying the moment of the day, provided for us by one number 9, and here's another one, the big Geordie boy.
you were quickly backtracking with that comment, weren't you?
Well, no, not really. I'm sure he could take, I'm sure he's getting worse banter down there. Di Canio, this is what they want. This is what they want. They want Paolo Di Canio! Nobody was opening an Upton Park gate until that had occurred.
Once again, great skill. May not have the legs anymore, but he threatens to shoot once and takes it on again, threatens to shoot again, takes it on again. Yes, I think the goalkeeper probably gets out of the way of it a little bit too easily. But he was a real hero here, and this is why. Kevin King will be unhappy with his defending. I'm not sure Blewett defended particularly well, and what Powell's doing, I've got no idea, but it's a good finish.
Chris Powell played his part particularly adeptly, and it was a good finish. Jimmy Walker dived away, and Paolo Di Canio peeled away, peeled off the shirt, showman that he is. Jimmy Walker, having really done his bit by conceding that goal, is giving way here to Ludek McCluskey, who one famous day at Wembley when West Ham won a playoff final, carried him round in celebration with supporters, does the same again in acknowledgement of the moment. I think Ludek McCluskey is the oldest participant in this game at 54.
He won't be the unfittest though.
For those of you counting, by the way, the score is 6-4.
Let's hope that Ludek McCluskey has a chance to show his athleticism and spring. He's got the penalties to come. Maybe he'll be in goal for those.
And Nicole and Brian McClare are still trying to score against him from 21 years ago. Ferdinand away. Freddie Sears, he must be one of the youngest on show, certainly in the light blue. Chris Powell.
The youngest scorers in West Ham's history, Freddie Sears.
Champions League, we're pinning all our hopes to Manchester City's flag now. They are in Paris next Wednesday the 6th of April. BT Sport Europe from 7. Liverpool in the Europa League in Dortmund. What a night that'll be. The Klopp derby means an awful lot. BT Sport Europe 7:15 on the Thursday. Sinclair, Di Canio, it might not be done yet. Sinclair and Noble.
Poor technique from the West Ham midfield player. He's got to go with his laces on that occasion.
Six more minutes to play, 6 or 7, and then 6 more games at Upton Park. Crystal Palace here, Arsenal here, 2 London derbies upcoming, then the big FA Cup replay against Manchester United, midweek game rearrangement against Watford. Swansea on the penultimate Saturday was meant to be the last game here, but events conspired, so Manchester United will visit finally on the 10th of May in a game that could count for an awful lot. And regardless of its importance in context, will be a tearjerker for many of the regulars here. Harewood. Pike won't let him pass. Pike tried to do it back to him. Harewood. Sears. Chris Powell. Oh dear. It just kept on going.
Keep the turf went further than the ball.
Di Canio. Playing Sinclair. Just 30-odd people shy of 35,000 in the ground, and here is a big goal-scoring chance, and he has put it away. Taylor Tombides, that is a beautiful moment. Beautiful moment. This is the brother of Dylan Tombides, the young Australian academy boy here, who was so sadly taken from us too early by testicular cancer, and whose foundation, DT38, is one of those causes being supported by today's 35,000 crowd. A goal that was meant to be. That is a beautiful moment. It actually was a beautiful finish by the young Aussie boy, who of course scores it for his brother, who ought to be here.
Well, it's a great run, but also a good finish. Waiting for the goalkeeper to go down and just lifts it over the top of him.
Lovely, lovely. Dylan would have been 22 this month.
Well, your prediction still come true of a 6-all draw.
I like to think the bookmakers weren't silly enough to open a book on this, because score draw was written all over it from the outset. And at 6-5 with 3.5 minutes to go, Sears. He's going to go again. He's fast. And he's squared it for Harewood. Harewood has to score. He didn't, you know.
He didn't. What a big chance it was. Slaven Bilic probably wanted him to score to make it 6-all. What a great run by the young Aussie down that right-hand side again. There's the pace he shows. He's got to hit it first time, and then once he goes back across goal, some good defending by a young West Ham player.
Noble. Stolen from Sinclair. Sears. Collison. Pike. Terzic let it roll. Noble. Terzic. Pike. Andy Carroll wants it. Bishop. Sears. Torpedoes. There's Kevin Keane, he can keep this in. And he can hang it up towards Marlon Harewood!
Oh, that was a much harder chance for him. On the volley, left foot. Going over the top of the defender. Slices it wide.
He did score for West Ham at almost 1 in 3. 56 in 170 for Marlon Harewood. It's a pretty good return.
Some would say missed 2 in 3 though.
Well, I'll leave that with you. Di Canio. Terzic. And as far as Di Canio.
Ludek, where's he going? Okay on this occasion.
Bishop.
Years ago, maybe even 15 years ago, Kevin Keane would have got that and been roaring down the outside. Just didn't have the pace to get there.
And if we're going to get this score draw, then Kevin Keane's team have 60 seconds to grab the equaliser. Pike. Bishop. Sears. Two solo performances in the crowd down beneath us. Harewood. Through to him again. Carroll. The final whistle. And so the score draw is evaded, though I suspect that won't count for very much, because regardless, there are plans for a penalty shootout. Before then, much bromance and mutual respect, affection and love, one for the other, all part of the Hammers family. It doesn't really matter who wore which colour shirt here. Claret is merging with blue. We've had an abundance of smiles, some glorious sunshine and some very, very good goals. One in particular that Dean Ashton will never forget. Mark Noble will never forget his day. He knows how much he's loved here. The final score, for what it's worth, is 6-5 and a million smiles.
Thanks for the moment, Peter. Well, as Peter himself has hinted, and we have all afternoon, it is not the end of the affair for all the enjoyment in that 6-5, because regardless of the final score, we are heading for a penalty shootout. More entertainment on the way at Mark Noble's Testimonial. Do stay with us. Well, welcome back. We're not done at Upton Park. Not a soul has left, perhaps not surprisingly, but that again is testament to what they've seen, and of course for the cause that is Mark Noble's Testimonial. Penalties await. Stuart Pearce has been alongside me all afternoon, still reeling in shock from the quality of that strike from Dean Ashton, who is now trending on Twitter, I'm told.
It was probably, it's a contender for goal of the season.
Yeah.
Whoever you are, we've seen him trawl around the game and looking a little bit chunky is the word I'd use.
Right.
And the ball's been tossed up the far post. His technique's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's going away from goal and just swiveled and hit it. A goal of the season.
Brilliant. Marlon Harewood's absolutely sick because he's been trying ever since to score any kind of goal
Exactly.
and not quite managed it. Hopefully he'll get involved in penalties, as might Dean Ashton. We're told reliably 11 penalties apiece, so the entertainment continues.
Well,
And you're insisting not taking one?
Insisting, yes. You know, I wouldn't like to take their limelight away from them. Certainly. I saw Lomas and Moncur disappear down the tunnel, and I thought, I'm pleased I'm not involved today. They looked so stiff, it was frightening.
There will be some sore legs and hopefully one or two sore heads in the morning, because it is a day of celebration, this. And as we say, the penalties are about to take place. We gather 11 aside. It doesn't really matter. What obviously matters is what this day means, what this day raises, and the fun we have along the way. So it's just going back out into the middle.
No one's left the stadium at all. I find it incredible, you know, for testimonials especially. You normally see people leave the stadium. It's still a full house, basically.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. Well, I mean, why would you leave?
Exactly.
On what we've seen thus far, 6-5, and it probably could and should have been, well, it probably should have been about 21-0 to West Ham on the first half display, but by the time the second half got into the meat of it, it was pretty impressive. Let's just grab Rio for a quick word before the penalties start. Rio, how are you feeling first of all?
Yeah, I've just done a 45-minute massage just to kind of get me through this interview process. So yeah, I'm all right, not bad, thanks.
And like Piercy, you've decided to opt out of the penalty shootout?
Yeah, my brown suede shoes right now, but they can't take it, so I've got to change as quick as possible. I didn't want to have a run-up.
Funnily enough, Mark Noble's going to take the first penalty here.
Okay.
Looks like Jimmy Walker about to go back in between the sticks. Let's go back to Stuart and Peter.
Mark Noble has tucked his away. Mark Noble has stuck it away, as the day demanded he should. But if anyone has stolen his limelight, then it is the next taker.
Mind you, he can't volley this one in. He has to take it a dead ball. What a goal that was from him. Will he blast it or just side-foot it in?
Well, Ashton scored one of the goals of the day, and Adrian scored the other. And now they're face-to-face. About plenty, uncomplicated and to the point.
Straight through the back of the ball. Goes over the top of the goalkeeper. Quite right, he gets a really good round of applause from the West Ham fans.
Alex Song scored one of the 11 goals today. He hasn't scored a competitive one for West Ham, who of course have had a couple of cup ties go all the way in very recent memory. Who knows, maybe that last FA Cup tie here against Manchester United could end in a shootout.
Perhaps this is good practice for it.
It'll be a very different atmosphere then. Alex Song, oh no. Ludo.
I told you he had great spring and athleticism. Didn't need it on that occasion.
Well, now, as Matt was saying with Stuart Pearce, poor Marlon Harewood has been yearning for a goal, straining every sinew, pleased for his sake. Faced by Rob Hatton in goal. And Hatton saved it. Safe to say, for him today, it wasn't meant to be.
He's got a smile on his face here, but I don't think he'll be feeling that inside.
Mark Noble wants to win this. Carl Antonio is next up for West Ham.
Done a lot wrong, has he, this season? Antonio scored some really good goals.
Jimmy Walker's trying to psych him out here. Ask him which way he's going. Antonio tucks it away. He's a player with some justification who's full of himself right now. It has really happened for him at West Ham.
One of the stars of the season, yes, of course, Payet's been the outstanding player, but Antonio, what have he's played as a right winger, a left winger, right wing back, right back on a couple of occasions. He's done a really good job.
This is Darren Blewett, old mate of Mark Noble's from youth team days. He's clattered it into the top corner. Bit of dream fulfillment for him.
Well, I've seen him play many times for West Ham's youth team and reserves. On his day, he was a very good player. Unfortunately, he didn't always have his day and could get a little bit aggressive. Blewett, the left back.
That's 3 taken each and 2 scored each. Di Canio's next. Seems to me that the law dictates Di Canio scores, except that he's going eyeball to eyeball with another legend. Paolo and Ludo. Whose name gets sung? He swapped it on the line. Oh, this is a moment of controversy. Di Canio thinks he's scored.
Ludo thinks he hasn't. I don't think he has.
Have we got goal line technology?
Well, this is good as. Oh, it's gone over the line. It's a goal.
It's in, but has it been given?
What is the linesman or assistant referee? That's definitely over the line. That's definitely a goal.
He's not fair.
I guess to stop debating it. I'm not sure I have. The second angle wasn't as conclusive. Tom Vides has been denied by Hatton. Apparently the Di Canio penalty hasn't been given, so that means we are at 2-2. So 2-2 after 4 each. I hope you're keeping track at home, because I'm not. Sinclair is next up.
Glass this one, I think.
Oh, more finesse than that.
Sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. Good disguise. What a good player he was as well, Trevor Sinclair.
Matthew Upson did good service at centre-half for West Ham very recently. Upson, it's a good 10.
Got a very good left foot, Matthew Upson. Luton, Arsenal, Birmingham, West Ham. Anybody else?
Stoke.
Stoke.
That's Lenny Noble on Dad's shoulders. Well, regardless of whether it was a regulation penalty shootout or 11 each, it was going to go to sudden death. It's 3-3 after 5 each, and this is Winston Reid. Good one.
The goalkeepers might have to start diving now.
Reid doesn't often get a chance in that penalty area. He hasn't scored for West Ham properly since September of 2014. Here's Christian Daly, who, as I mentioned during the game, probably his best remembered goal for West Ham was in a playoff semi-final here against Ipswich. Daly, that's his away.
What a night that was here at Upton Park as well. Playoff semi-final, Alan Pardew was the manager, Joe Royle manager of Ipswich.
All got a bit
heated.
Yeah.
West Ham had to come from behind, didn't they? Ipswich won the first leg.
Here is a product of Ipswich, Aaron Cresswell, one who made a fabulous step up from Championship to Premier League football. And he left that club for this one. Cresswell, it hasn't worked. It's good if it works, it's ugly if it doesn't.
Laughing about it now. He'll still be disappointed. Just got underneath it far too much.
Chris Powell, who last time he was in the penalty area ended up behind the goal and in about row K, has recovered his poise now. One left back following another. He's off the long run. Powell, oh yes, he meant that. He meant that. He's loved it.
Good penalty.
Do you know, even when he was playing competitively, and he was a competitor, Chris Powell, he played with a smile. No change there.
Outstanding left back.
This is James Short for West Ham, with their 8th penalty. And West Ham, remember, are 1 down. Put it away. Watson corner.
Off the inside of the post. There's no saving that one. In short.
Chris Cohen.
In the youth team with Mark Noble. Moving on to the likes of Nottingham Forest and Yeovil.
He's had a good career, having a good career. Oh, it's denied by a very good diving stop from Hatton. And that squares it all up again.
Just the right height for the goalkeeper.
5 each. 3 each left. This is Sam Taylor to take for West Ham. Personal friend of Mark Noble. And very adept from 12 yards.
Very good penalty.
Cadio lost an argument, doesn't often happen. Freddie Sears, who grew up in footballing terms under the wing of this club. He said during the game, Stewart scored notably and memorably as a very young man in the first team. Sears, the goalkeeper started moving then about 20 minutes before the kick. But he got across Adrian and made the save.
Very good save, Adrian. Been taken to the heart of these West Ham fans.
Well, Marcus Brown, mentioned him before, 18 years old. In his first year as a professional here, he did actually look very accomplished over the ball.
Going to take it with his right hand. One left foot shot in the game. Brilliant left foot shot.
There's Brown, put it away. And that takes us to match point. At 7-5, the All-Stars need to score them both and hope that West Ham's final penalty is missed. So there is no margin for error for Lee Bowyer here. Him coming out of Charlton, not a long way from here. And if he scores, if he fails to score, they've lost. He's telling the goalkeeper which way to go, and he's gone that way.
I told you. Scored some great goals. He said for Leeds, or Newcastle, for Charlton.
So there's one each left. And West Ham's last penalty is going to be taken by Adrian, who has already scored once today. Score this and they win. He's going to take it higher. We've seen this before. We've seen this before in the cup replay against Everton. It's another iconic moment being recreated. Adrian. Precisely what are you celebrating? Apart from a very good memory.
Well, that wasn't quite as good as his finish in the first half.
But there's pressure now. There's pressure on Jimmy Walker. He still has to score to take it to sudden death. So Walker's got rid of it. These two were on the same side, weren't they? It's Walker and McCloskey. He scored. So now it's sudden death. Or is it? Are we just calling it quits? We are. We are. No need for any further torture, any further pain. That has been fun. A lot of fun. It's a final score that makes no sense. West Ham 6, the All-Stars 5. But then on penalties, West Ham 6, All-Stars 6. Never mind all of that. This is Mark James Noble, born Canning Town, 2 miles along the Barking Road from here, a couple of stops on the DLR. Born in May of 1987 to play for West Ham, and West Ham have afforded him a fitting tribute here. There's a lot of big business for him to involve himself in between now and the end of this campaign. He'll want to walk out again at the Olympic Stadium in August, but for now, on a gorgeous spring day in East London, Mark Noble says thanks for this memory, and Upton Park says thanks to him for so many, many more.
Thank you very much to Peter Drury and of course Stuart Robson, Stuart Pearce and Rio Ferdinand still with me, as is Paolo Di Canio now, and I can tell you, Paolo, it was in, your penalty.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm
sure. I was nearly to push the referee, sorry, but I didn't this time, but...
it wouldn't be a Di Canio game with
I accepted the decision, no problem.
It won't be a first time.
sorry.
Let's have a look, because I know you'll want to be sure.
What's inside? See, you can see.
Yeah, this is the one that tells you.
Rio. Nah, that is completely inside. No, sir, come on.
But thank heavens it doesn't matter.
We have to accept the decision, no problem.
Were you tempted to give it a little push?
No, not this time, no. Today is a friendly game and we enjoy the day, so
yeah,
we're okay.
Rio's a bit concerned about tomorrow morning and how it might feel. How about your good self?
You look going to be okay tomorrow? Mine, I know we're going to be a problem.
Tomorrow? Already I feel nothing in my legs. My legs are gone. I don't know, my joint, you know, my ankle, my knees, I feel pain everywhere. I don't know why, but you can imagine.
That's age. I felt that in the warm-up.
So you may think that we still think that until 60, 70 we can still play football, but can't happen.
From the sofa, it's easy from here.
Imagine thinking, okay.
You need one of these in your hand now.
Exactly, you can talk a very good game. Now listen, I presume the pain goes away for a few seconds when you score a goal. Did that happen today in the West Ham shirt?
But, you know, even at 60, when you have a chance to put the ball in the net, you still feel something.
Yeah.
That belongs to us, I think, to the professional footballer, especially with this fantastic stadium, you know, crowd, incredible. Mm-hmm. So it was good. When you score, you feel happiness, you know, you enjoy, you feel something good, obviously.
We enjoyed watching. We're glad you had that little bit of magic again in your veins. Thank you, Paolo.
Thank you. Ciao.
Thank you very much.
Ciao, mate. Ciao.
Thank you very much. We'll pause briefly, but we're not quite done because obviously we'll attempt to grab Mark Noble out for a final word. Rio and Stuart, a stick in foot. There's all sorts of formalities still to happen on this important day for Mark Noble. It's his day, West Ham's day, and I think so far it's fair to say it's pretty much going to plan. Steady, Paolo. See you in a couple of minutes. We're going to try and bring him back out.
Mark Noble! Your day, sir, your day. Make way for Mark Noble.
Mark Noble's day, Mark Noble's goal. We had a goal fest. Not that it particularly matters how the scoreline ended up. Perhaps we should finish with talking about the season that could still become something pretty special as they bow out of this stadium, Stuart.
I think it's as good a times as I can remember at West Ham United. You know, there's a real feel-good factor about this football club. New stadium, possible Champions League at the end of this year, maybe. An FA Cup final even. If things go their way, well, this club could really take off.
Yeah, of course. We'll be back to see maybe goals like this with the visit of Manchester United in the FA Cup replay.
He actually scored one at Old Trafford against me. A little bit similar to the one he scored today in Ashton, the overhead kick out of nothing. But yeah, I mean, to sign off would be fantastic. A bit of silverware, even a final would be great, and then finishing you, hopefully, the Champions League would be a great sign off for such a great stadium, really. So, but today we saw some good flashes, nice goals, great day really for Mark Noble.
No, absolutely, and it wasn't a day necessarily to worry about the...
Jamo's got to look at himself there. I can't believe what's happened there.
He has. He had all manner of excuses you won't be shocked to discover as we talked at half time.
He's been Megs there as well, geez.
He has. It fell apart for him really after a promising start for young David.
Yeah, I mean he's got to look at himself. He'll get back to the drawing board tomorrow. He'll have to go in the change rooms and have to really get on the drawing board and really look at his positioning and stuff.
Yeah, but it's not actually, although he thinks it is, it's not actually about David James today. It's about Mark Noble, who's been good enough to rejoin us for the last couple of minutes. Mark, I guess it went to plan, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, I mean, amazing. The weather, everything just turned out perfect today, you know, and as I said, I'm overwhelmed by the thing. And the game, obviously, it wasn't the...
And Dean Ashton's goal would grace any game of football. How about this? In slow-mo, the technique.
I don't know how he got off the floor. Size of him.
To be honest, I don't think the ground is going to be happy. There's a big dent in the floor.
Brilliant.
But yeah, I mean, look, some of the goals that were scored, and it was just a great day for everyone.
Yeah. And listen, we were just talking about the season that you're having, and of course, it feels a bit like the end of a season when you have a game like this and a day like this. But it's not. There's lots to play for.
Yeah, no. Obviously back to business on Saturday, Crystal Palace. But yeah, to be honest, it's just a bit of fun for the lads to get the players back and just to have a laugh with everyone. You see that the crowd enjoyed it. You know, the players enjoyed it, and some of the boys that ain't played here for a long time, you can tell they thoroughly enjoyed it.
And that was a nice moment as well, with the three causes, particularly as you say, the DT Foundation that the young Tom Beatus boy scored.
Yeah, as I said, it couldn't have gone any better. I mean, Dylan going one-on-one and chipping the goal the way he did, and I think everyone stood up on their feet and applauded because, I mean, it means a lot to him and his family, and that's why I chose him for one of the causes.
Yeah, it means a lot to you, and of course it means a lot to the West Ham fans to come and celebrate like this.
Yeah, to be honest, I was sitting indoors yesterday, and there was no football on there. It's a bit strange over the weekend, but look, to get with the weather and the trains and everything that happened today, to get 36,000 here was just unbelievable, and I'm just really thankful for everyone that come.
Yeah, and of course we heard at the start of the show that Aaron Cresswell said he's 28. He looks 38, but there's a bit more football in him yet.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I think someone on Sky, I think it was Ray or someone, said that I was 30 or something the other day, but Ray Wilkins. But
the hairline, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the hairline. But listen, as you say, I'm only 20. I'm 29 in May, but I'm enjoying the best football of my life for sure, and the best season. And the way we're going at the minute in the league is just really, really good for the team and for the club, and then we've got the big move next year, which is going to be great.
Lots to look forward to, not least to the rest of this season. Thanks for having us today. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the day. Mark, Rio, Stuart, thank you all very much, and that's it for Mark Noble's testimonial. The formalities continue, but thanks for your company.